Hello, Blue Demons. Happy Monday. My name is Sarah Rudy. I'm a coordinator within the Office of Student Involvement, and I'll be hosting the What You Need to Know video for this week. And we have one of our staff members joining us to share his perspective on campus programming and the fall quarter.
Hi, Sarah. Happy Monday.
Hello, hello. If you want to go ahead and just introduce yourself, Rigo, and share about what you do in the Office of Student Involvement, that'd be great.
Yeah. So my name is Rigo Gutierrez. I'm the coordinator for campus activities in the Office of Student Involvement. My primary responsibility is working with the DePaul Activities Board. I serve as their advisor. And I also work with other campus initiatives like Blue Demon Week, which is our equivalent of a homecoming at DePaul, as well as any other fun campus programming initiatives that come up throughout the year. Like this summer, I've been working a lot with our bingo and trivia program, and some of the other virtual programs that we've kicked off recently.
Yeah, awesome. So do you want to go ahead and just share a little perspective on what DAB's programs will look like for this fall and any ideas that you might have to share with other student organization leaders as you're preparing and working with DAB?
Yeah. So for DAB's programming this fall, obviously with the announcement that most of our classes are going to be online and most students will be living off campus, this is a really great opportunity for DAB to try new types of programs in the virtual world. And so something that I'm really excited to see them do this upcoming fall is really transforming some of the events that we used to have in person and kind of reimagine them to fit a more virtual program. So like we have like the escape rooms coming up. We'll have a virtual dance party and other performers to feature this fall. We're doing a subscription box program. So there's a bunch of really fun initiatives that the students have really come together to craft and create. And I'm really excited to see how they work going from being in person to being virtual. I think that this gives us an opportunity to try certain things that we've not been able to do on campus, because obviously when we're all trying to program on campus, there's limited venue space. People's schedules are all over the place. And so being in a virtual environment allows some flexibility for students to be able to pop in and out of programs without necessarily having to travel. Like if a student's already at home, but they're a DePaul student, they might not come back to campus for a program, but they might be able to join us through the computer or through their phone. And so this kind of like opens up the door to try different things and holding us over until we're able to go back to a model where we host in-person programs. I think that this, everything that's happened this year has really changed the way that the world is going to work. And so I think that technology, it was already a very prominent part of our society and how we approach work and how we approach relationship building and how we approach just about everything. And now with this pandemic, I think that technology is something that is even more relevant and it's here to stay. So I think that we can use this as a good opportunity to figure out how to function with technology as a supplement. Now, granted, obviously the ideal scenario is that we're still able to have in-person interactions and all of that, but I think technology can be a really great tool to enhance all of that.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, like you mentioned, to enhance the student experience. I love that. Awesome. So
Yeah.
as an advisor, how are you coaching your student organization leaders? Like what advice do you have to other student org leaders that you might be providing to DAB as you're working through this transition?
Yeah. So obviously, it's been really tough because just as I'm trying to advise and coach and guide students through this whole process, like I'm also going through my own adjusting to, being in a pandemic and adjusting to all the changes that we have to move through. And so it's really been a matter of sort of like learning how to balance that for myself, and then being able to provide as much as I can to our student leaders in DAB. Obviously, there are some days where I wish I could do more, but I think it's just like the nature of the situation. But I think for the most part, the thing that I keep reminding them of is, focus in on, what are like the two or three things that you can do during this like virtual quarter. Like maybe you're not able to do like your long lists of typical things that you'd want to do, or like go after every goal that you've had just because like we're in such a different situation. But what are the two or three things that you really want to focus in on? And really like go after those specific goals, and you might be able to like go maybe not necessarily have as much like breadth in terms of like the things that you're doing, but you might be able to find like more depth in each one of those sort of like projects or undertakings that you decide to focus on. So the other thing is this is an opportunity. I'm sorry, my desk is like being a little shaky. Use this as an opportunity to learn about technology and how to use it. There's a lot of different platforms out there that can really make a group process, a learning process, an event process a lot easier. So we're learning how to use all the different features on Zoom. We learned about this platform that we use called StreamYard. We're learning about how to use Microsoft Teams. We're learning about different functions that you can find in GroupMe. Use this as a time to really learn what tools exist to have more productive teams, what tools are out there that can help you be a better learner, a better helper, and just a better student leader. I think now that things are running at a different pace, I think that this is a chance to sort of pause and kind of like take it all in. And then the last thing is be intentional in the way that you continue to have relationships with other people. It takes a little bit more effort than it normally would to really make new friends, can keep your friends that you already have, keep like your relationships with other student leaders, people within your organization, outside your organization, classmates, anybody that's part of your academic community. I think all of us have to try a little bit harder in terms of, not necessarily harder is not the word. We all have to be a little bit more thoughtful and mindful about how we approach staying in contact with other people. And so maybe it is like, normally you wouldn't schedule something on a Saturday, like a phone call or a Zoom call on a Saturday to talk to your friend, because that's something that happens more sporadically, or you go visit them in person. I think right now is the time to really think of, okay, who can I check in with today? Is there somebody that I haven't really followed up with? I think that all of those things are really important, and especially thinking about it in a student organization context. I think it's really easy for an organization to really, honestly fall apart if like the members don't stay connected. So it's important to think about how to continue those relationships, even during this time of being virtual and you have people all across the country.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point too, is not everyone's going to be in a central location. So how do you work with the technology that you have to make sure that everyone stays connected to the group and to each other? So yeah, those are great pieces of advice. So just to expand a little further too, what pieces of advice would you offer other advisors in our student organization community as we transition to the fall quarter and prepare for all of the things?
Yeah. So my advice for other advisors would be, I honestly, like as general as it sounds, I think really use your resources and your network. And so I think of something that's been really helpful for me personally as an advisor is keeping in touch in terms of my professional associations that I'm involved in, or any virtual communities that exist for people that do similar work, to see like what other schools are doing and what are the best practices out there for this time of being hybrid or being virtual. So whatever type of student organization you advise, there might be a network that you may find of people at other campuses that are working with similar types of organizations. And I think the other important piece is like not only keeping that information to yourself, but then sharing that with your students, sharing that with the people that you work with, so that people are in the loop. Sharing resources is important right now. So that's my one big piece of advice. If you don't know what to do, there's always other people that are trying to figure out as well. And how do you connect with them, and what resources can you find out there of what other people are doing?
Yeah, that's great. That's a great advice. And if anyone has any questions, advisors or student org leaders, feel free to connect with our office too, just because we have resources and are connected in different ways. And we're happy to help as you all prepare to transition to the fall. Well, I appreciate your time, Rigo. Do you have any final words or?
No, go Blue Demons.
Awesome.
And hang in there. Yeah.
Thank you, Rigo. We appreciate your time, and we'll have this video ready, and then you'll also see another video coming out next week. Awesome. We'll see you later.
Bye.